welcome to today's presentation. My name is Arnold Onyino, and today I'm gonna talk about cyberbullying, keeping in mind that our children are currently at home because of the pandemic that is ongoing to the whole universe. These children are forced to learn through the internet. They are supposed to attend their classes through their internet, but there are a lot of effects that are happening. That is why today I prepared this little slide presentation. I'm just doing it for my Android phone about cyberbullying. So first of all, I will let you know what cyberbullying is. Cyberbullying is the use of electronic communication to bully a person, typically by sending messages of intimidating or threatening nature. This normally happens to our children and the size that they are attending to. Like right now, most of people are being bullied on Facebook. The children are there online. People take their messages, they read, they ask them to send nude pictures, then they end up threatening the children that if they don't comply on what they are saying, they are gonna expose them. That is cyberbullying. So there are some signs that you might be able to know that your kid is being cyberbullied. Like, for example, if your kid suddenly stops using the computer, even though he enjoyed much of his time using the computer, then the kid suddenly stops, that might be one of the signs that your kid is being cyberbullied. Another sign is that he doesn't want to use the computer in place where you can see it. You find that if they are using a laptop or using their mobile phone, keeping in mind a mobile phone is also a computer, they would try doing it in secret places like hiding in their rooms, their bedrooms, where they don't want you to see it. This can also be a sign that your kid is being cyberbullied. The kid turns off computer monitor or changes screen every time you walk by. When, for example, your kid sits in his computer desk, then you happen to pass by, you'll see them changing the size that they were viewing, changing the screens. That could also be a serious sign that your kid is being cyberbullied and they don't want you to see it. They also don't want you to know that they are being cyberbullied. Another sign that he seems nervous or jumpy when he gets instant messages, texts, or emails. This is so serious. When a text comes into their phone, you'll find that they don't even want to continue doing what they were doing. Maybe they were doing something serious. Maybe they were reading a book. Maybe they were doing something else. But whenever a message comes in, whenever they hear a notification message on their phones, they want to jump onto it. Another sign is that the kid alludes to bullying indirectly by saying something like, there is a lot of drama at school. I have no friends, like right now they are doing a lot of online learning. You hear them saying that there is a lot of drama in our group, our WhatsApp group, our school WhatsApp group that we are using for learning. You will hear them saying that my friends all abandoned me, something like that. Those are also signs that your kids are being cyberbullied. Another thing is that the kid does not want to go to school or appear uneasygoing. Not necessarily to school, but even at home, whenever you can send them to the shops, they would happen to be resistant. They don't want to go. They feel threatened whenever they want to go out there. Another thing, the kid becomes so withdrawn. What are some of the effects that the kids face on cyberbullying? I'm also going to talk about that. I have highlighted a few. Even the signs, there are so many signs, but I've just picked out a few that are very common that you can easily notice on your child. There are also effects of cyberbullying to kids that I also want us to look at. The first one is humiliation. Because cyberbullying occurs in cyberspace, online bullying might feel permanent to the kid. The kid knows that there is something out there. They also feel exposed. I.e., for example, the kid might have been requested to send their pictures while naked, the pornographic pictures, to some people, or the person has their private messages that they didn't expect anyone to have. So whenever they think about that, they feel like the whole world knows what is happening to them. The whole world has seen that picture. The whole world has read that message. So they will feel humiliated. Another thing, they will feel they don't have any worth. They will feel they are worthless. Another thing is that there will be disinterest in whatever they were doing. Like, for example, for initial stages of online classes, you might have realized that your kid is so interested in online learning, but with time then they start developing disinterest. They stop concentrating on that. They don't want to do it. They feel they have lost that interest. That could also be an effect of cyberbullying, and it's so dangerous because they can end up absconding some of the online classes, and this would also affect their grades. Another thing is that they would feel isolated. They will feel like the child will feel alone. They will feel like nobody's caring about them. You will find them confining them in a place where there are no other kids. They don't want to play with others. They just become isolated. Then we also have another effect. There would be depression would kick in. There would be physical sickness. These kids would start experiencing a lot of headaches, stuff like that. Then another serious effect is that the kid would become suicidal. They would end up opting to suicide because they feel like, now I have sent those pictures, the world knows what's happening, the whole world has seen my naked body, the whole world has seen everything. So they would end up opting to suicide, and that is a major effect that we are also currently facing. Even since this pandemic started, we might have realized that so many kids have committed suicide and nobody knows the reason. This could also be an effect of cyberbullying. Since the kids are always online, they could be opting for stuff like that. Now, how do we respond when you know that your kid is being cyberbullied? The first thing, just save the messages. If they have been sent a message by somebody, don't delete that message. Save it. Save the comments. Save all the posts that they have been made on this child's timeline. If you go to Facebook, you'd be able to realize that on timeline, when somebody writes at your timeline, don't delete that, and just keep it, and you will use it as evidence whenever you want to report this. This includes also your social media, your Instagram page, your Facebook, Twitter, and stuff like that. Another thing, you should report to the child counselor. That includes your religious counselor and also the school. If this happens in school sites, schools have their own websites where children are doing online classes. If something like this happened, these kids can also be cyberbullied by their teachers whenever they are attending those online classes. So whenever something like this happens, you should report to the school administration. If it's not in the school administration, report to any counselor, a church counselor, a community-based counselor that would give guidance to these children. Another thing, you should report to the social media site or your ISP. By saying ISP, I mean your internet service providers. Report that instance immediately. Don't wait for long, and don't delete the posts. You should keep them. Then after you've done all that, you should report to the police officers. The Communications Commission, like in Kenya, there is a Communications Commission of Kenya that is responsible for this. And for minors, if you want to report it easily, you should just dial 116 on your cell phone. It's not necessary that you go to the police station, but just dial 116 and report that instance immediately. They would be able to respond to that. Then they would be able to help. Thank you for taking your time to listen to me today. Stay safe. Continue keeping your children safe from online bullying. Have a good day, evening.